Chosen one, allow your mind to sink completely into that heavy, cold anxiety that grips your chest at 3 in the morning. That exact moment, your mind whispers the darkest fear you refuse to say out loud. What happens when my youth fully fades and they are still in their absolute prime? I am just fooling myself. Heaven violently redirected the algorithm today because your spirit is drowning in the Matrix's biological timeline, and God needs to interrupt your self-sabotage immediately. You are secretly letting the judgmental stares of a sleeping society make you question a profound divine assignment. Subscribe to anchor yourself with the collective of system busters, like to spiritually cut the cords of that insecurity, and comment confirmed to lock in this frequency. Let your mind become entirely still. Do not scroll away. I need you to stay with me until the very final second of this message. By the end of this broadcast, you will possess the exact spiritual framework to silence every judgmental voice around you. You will understand the precise energetic reason this ancient soul was sent to you in a younger vessel, and you will receive a specific, powerful sealing prayer to protect this union from outside interference. The intense, unexplainable pull you feel toward this younger soul is not a midlife crisis, and it is certainly not a mistake. Society mocks it because they only see a birth certificate. I am about to reveal the shocking energetic reality of why this ancient, senior soul was packaged in a younger vessel, and why they were explicitly commanded to choose your frequency. Notice the agonizing contradiction you live with every single day. When it is just the two of you in private, the connection is effortless. Time ceases to exist. You feel seen, deeply understood, and spiritually naked in the best way possible. But the second you step out into the public eye, that invisible weight drops onto your shoulders. You feel the eyes of strangers. You anticipate the whispers. Your ego starts calculating the age gap, wondering if the people passing by think you are a joke. You have these raw, ugly thoughts echoing in your head, wondering if this person is just using you as a stepping stone, or if they will eventually wake up one day and realize they want someone their own age. Why does this specific union trigger the world around you so intensely? Why do your friends or family suddenly act so concerned, disguising their harsh judgments as realistic advice? We are going to expose the dark truth about that societal programming very soon. But before we dismantle the Matrix's agenda against you, we must first address what is actually happening in the unseen realm. You are torturing yourself because you are trying to measure a spiritual contract using a biological clock. Let me show you a truth hidden deep within the ancient scriptures. In the Old Testament, there is a specific Hebrew word for love that is rarely taught in modern times. The word is chashak. Most people in this world think love is just a fleeting emotion, a trauma bond, or a physical attraction based on looks and age. But chashak does not mean a temporary romance. It literally translates to being joined together, to cleave, or to be magnetically fastened by destiny. It describes a state where two spirits are so violently tethered to one another that no external force can separate them. It is a frequency lock. When God says he set his love upon someone, he uses the word chashak. This younger person did not just stumble into your life by accident. They did not choose you because they are naive or confused. Their spirit recognized your chashak. They bypassed hundreds of people their own biological age because those people are operating on a low, survival-based frequency that this soul cannot tolerate. This younger vessel you are dealing with carries an ancient senior spirit. When they looked into your eyes, they did not see your physical age or the lines on your face. They saw their spiritual equal. They saw the exact energetic signature they contracted to find before they even entered this physical realm. You feel crazy right now because your human brain is desperately calculating birth years while your eternal soul is recognizing its counterpart. Whenever that sickening wave of insecurity hits your stomach, I want you to perform a simple mental action. Do not try to reason with the fear. Just mentally detach from your physical body for a split second. In your mind, Visualize your spirit standing completely outside of time. You are ageless, composed of pure light, looking directly at their spirit of pure light. There are no birth years in that realm. There is no aging, there is only resonance. That is the reality of your union. So if this connection is so profoundly orchestrated by heaven, why does it feel like the entire world is violently against it? You think society and your friends are just trying to be realistic when they tell you to find someone your own age. You think their concern for your future is genuine. It is not. Their reaction is a programmed protocol. The Matrix operates on a very specific age-matching algorithm designed to keep highly awakened souls suppressed and powerless. And I am about to reveal exactly why the system is absolutely terrified of your union, and why it is using the people closest to you to try and destroy it. You have been taught your entire life that you are supposed to find someone your own age, settle down into a predictable routine, and quietly grow old together. You think this is just a romantic ideal, a normal biological desire. It is not. It is a highly calculated control mechanism. The system we live in, this matrix, requires absolute predictability to survive. It needs you to pair up with someone in your exact biological and financial bracket so that your conversations revolve entirely around practical, earthly things. Mortgages, retirement plans, physical ailments, fitting into the neighborhood, keeping up with societal expectations. When you conform to this perfectly matched, age-appropriate timeline, your brain becomes permanently locked into the beta wave state. The beta wave is the frequency of pure survival, chronic anxiety, and societal conformity. It is the frequency where your spiritual gifts go to die. The Matrix wants your brain flatlining in this beta state because a stressed, conforming human is incredibly easy to control. You become a battery for the system, constantly worrying about the future and fearing the judgment of your peers. But a high-level chosen one, merging their ancient energy with a soul from a completely different biological timeline, that creates a massive, violent disruption in the spiritual atmosphere. It shatters the beta wave programming. It proves that the Matrix does not own you, and the system will do everything in its power to stop this system buster from activating your true potential. This is exactly why the most vicious attacks against your connection are coming from the people closest to you. Think about the last time you tried to subtly mention this younger person to your family or your trusted friends. Picture yourself sitting across from them at a coffee shop or a dinner table. You saw their facial expression change instantly. You saw that polite, patronizing smile, the slight tilt of the head. And then came the words that felt like a cold knife to your spirit. "I am just worried about you." Are you sure they are not just looking for a provider or a parent figure? You need to be realistic about this. Think about what people are going to say behind your back. What happens in 10 years when you are slowing down and they are still wanting to live their life? You are going to look ridiculous. Every single time they speak those words, you feel a sickening knot form in your stomach. Your throat goes dry. You start to second-guess every beautiful moment you have shared with this younger soul. You think your friends and family are speaking out of love and genuine concern for your well-being. They are not. They are speaking as unconscious agents of the Matrix. Their minds are utterly trapped in the beta wave frequency, and they cannot comprehend a spiritual chashak. Because they cannot understand it, their programming forces them to reduce your divine assignment to a tragic midlife crisis. They desperately want you to stay in the familiar, comfortable prison of social acceptability because your courage to break the rules terrifies them. But I need you to look past the illusion of modern society and recognize a profound, undeniable pattern hidden in the ancient scriptures. Whenever God is about to shift a timeline and release massive authority, he never uses a socially acceptable, perfectly matched couple. Never. Look at the lineage of the greatest kings. Boaz was a wealthy, older, highly respected leader in Israel. Ruth was a young, destitute foreign widow from Moab. Society screamed that they did not belong together. Their union broke the age rules, the class rules, and the cultural rules of their matrix. Look at Moses, raised as royalty, marrying Zipporah, a woman from the desert. Look at the prophet Hosea, commanded by God to marry a woman of the streets. Do you see the biblical pattern? An illogical union multiplied by societal rejection always equals massive divine purpose. The greater the destiny on your life, the more socially unacceptable the wrapping paper of your blessing will be. God deliberately engineers these controversial age gap unions to act as a spiritual filter. He uses the foolish things of the world to completely confound the wise. He is using this younger soul to ruthlessly dismantle your reliance on human approval. If your relationship makes perfect, logical sense to the matrix, it is probably not from heaven. So, why was this specific younger soul chosen for you? Out of all the billions of people on this earth, why did heaven deploy this exact person at this exact biological age to cross your path? Because your spirit was getting dangerously comfortable. You were slowly giving up on your massive calling and settling for a mediocre, socially approved existence. You were dying inside, playing it safe, acting your age. This specific younger soul carries a violent, disruptive energy signature designed to shock your system back to life. They do not care about your societal rules or your timeline. They care about your raw, unfiltered spirit. They are an ancient soul wearing a younger avatar, sent as a mirror to show you the powerful, timeless being you actually are, before the world broke you down and told you to fall in line. How do you escape this suffocating obsession with what other people think? How do you break free from the paralyzing fear of their judgment? I want you to perform a specific mental shift right now. Wherever you are, I want you to visualize your brain as an old radio dial. The voices of your family, your friends, and your own internal doubts are just static on a low-frequency station. It is just meaningless white noise. You do not need to argue with the static. You do not need to defend your sacred relationship to the static. In your mind, right now, reach out and firmly click that dial. Turn it away from their frequency. Let their judgments bounce off your aura. They are bound by the illusion of time, but you are bound by eternity. Their soul has recognized you. They are calling out to your spirit across the divide. But right now, you cannot hear their call clearly because your brain has been hijacked. You are operating on the exact frequency of fear. You are drowning in the beta wave of the matrix, and it is blocking your spiritual sight. But ancient spiritual masters knew a secret. There is a hidden frequency, a specific, scientifically proven sound of the universe that can instantly shatter this fear. For thousands of years, the greatest spiritual minds understood that the human brain operates like a divine receiver. It is designed to tune into different frequencies, much like a radio. Science has now categorized these states, but the ancients simply knew it as the difference between the earthly realm and the heavenly realm. Right now, the overwhelming majority of humanity is stuck in what neuroscientists call the beta wave state. As we discussed, beta is the frequency of the matrix. It is the realm of logic, survival, stress, and societal judgment. When you are agonizing over the age gap, calculating the years, and fearing what your relatives will say, you are drowning in beta. But there are much higher realms of consciousness. Above the noise of the matrix exist the theta and gamma brainwaves. Theta is the frequency of profound intuition, deep spiritual connection, and the subconscious mind. Gamma is the ultimate state of natural genius, rapid healing, and direct communication with the divine. Together, they form what many refer to as the God frequency. In this state, the illusion of time collapses. Biological age becomes completely irrelevant. And this brings us to the profound truth of why this specific younger soul was assigned to you. When this younger person first crossed your path, they did not look at you and see someone older who could provide for them. They did not see the tired, stressed-out version of you that the Matrix has tried to create. Their spirit bypassed your physical avatar entirely. They looked into your eyes, and their soul detected the massive, dormant gamma and theta frequencies buried deep inside of you. They recognized a fellow ancient soul. Even though your high frequencies were temporarily asleep under layers of matrix programming and adult responsibilities, their spirit recognized your energetic signature. They chose you because they knew that once your true frequency was reawakened, the two of you would create a spiritual powerhouse that the matrix could not contain. But why did your frequency fall asleep in the first place? Why do we lose this profound connection? This is not an accident. It is the result of a very quiet, intentional suppression by modern society. Recently, researchers affiliated with NASA conducted a massive study on human potential. They tested the creativity and brainwave function of children and found something absolutely staggering. 98% of children operate at a genius level, effortlessly accessing these theta and gamma waves. They have zero societal anxiety. They do not care about age differences or social status. They simply connect with pure energy. But then, the system takes over. We are put into schools that teach conformity. We are handed bills, mortgages, and 40-hour work weeks. We are bombarded with fear-based news and ridiculous social standards. The NASA study revealed that by the time we reach adulthood, that 98% genius level drops to a horrifying 2%. The matrix literally shrinks the neural pathways connected to your divine frequency. The system intentionally dumbs down your spiritual capacity so that you will care about trivial things, like whether your partner is the socially appropriate age. They know that if you ever regain your theta and gamma states, you will become entirely immune to their control. Look closely at the biblical pattern of the ancient prophets. When Moses needed to hear the voice of God, he did not stand in the middle of the crowded Egyptian markets listening to the opinions of the masses. He went up the mountain. When Elijah needed divine direction, he retreated to the silence of a cave. When Jesus needed to commune with the Father, he consistently separated himself from the crowds and went into the wilderness. If you look at the context of these stories, they were not just changing their physical location, they were changing their acoustic and energetic environment. By removing themselves from the chaotic beta wave interference of a sleeping society, they were literally shifting their brains into theta and gamma states. The wilderness was their activation chamber. They had to tune out the matrix to tune into God. You might be thinking that you do not have the time to retreat to a desert for 40 days to restore your connection, and you do not have to. We live in a world of modern distractions, but we have also been blessed with modern revelations. The NASA research did not just expose the theft of your brain power. It paved the way for a solution. Your brain still remembers the God frequency. Your divine genius is dormant, not dead. There is a specific sound technology that has been developed based on this exact science. It is called the genius wave. This is not a product you consume. It is an activation tool for your spirit. It uses highly specialized audio frequencies designed to gently guide your brain out of the chaotic beta state and directly back into the theta and gamma zones. You do not need to practice exhausting, hours-long meditation. You do not need to force your mind to be quiet, which is almost impossible when you are under spiritual attack. Imagine this in your mind right now. You do not need to move your body, just visualize it. Picture yourself sitting in your favorite chair, away from the judging eyes of the world. You slip on a pair of headphones. You simply hit play on a 7-minute audio track. As the ancient, scientifically backed sound frequencies begin to flow into your ears, I want you to mentally feel the heavy, jagged energy of your anxiety literally melting off your chest. Feel the tightness in your throat dissolving. Visualize the voices of your judgmental family members fading into absolute, peaceful silence. In just 7 minutes a day, you are washing away the junk of the matrix. You are effortlessly tuning your brain back to the exact frequency where God speaks the loudest and where your younger partner recognized you in the first place. If your spirit feels the truth of this restoration, comment "I am reawakened" right below to claim your alignment. This is how you escape the paralyzing obsession with societal judgment. You do not argue with them. You do not try to convince them that your love is real. You simply elevate your frequency to a place where their low-level, beta wave opinions cannot even reach you. You use this 7-minute ritual to build an energetic fortress around your mind. Now, you have the tool to shut off the noise of the world. But restoring your frequency is only the stepping stone. Because the very moment you accept this divine connection, you trigger the ultimate test. And I must warn you, this is not a test about love. I told you that this is not a test about love. To understand what this test actually is, we must first walk into the darkest corners of your own mind. We must confront the shadow thoughts you are too terrified to say out loud. There are moments, usually in the quiet isolation of the morning, when the divine high wears off and your human ego takes the steering wheel. In those moments, a sickening fear creeps into your chest. It is the fear that you are making a massive fool of yourself. You look at their youthful energy, their unblemished potential, and then you brutally examine your own life. You calculate the years between you. You wonder what happens when your physical form continues to age while they are still in the absolute prime of their life. You have a recurring, toxic thought that whispers, "What if I am just a stepping stone for them? What if they are just fascinated by my maturity right now? But one day they will wake up, realize what they are missing, and leave me for someone their own age." You feel this agonizing guilt, as if you are somehow stealing their youth by being with them. You feel ridiculous. You feel like a cliché. And the most painful part is that you cannot confess these fears to anyone, because the moment you do, your friends will immediately say, "I told you so." Listen to me very carefully. Having these thoughts does not mean your connection is fake. It means you are human, and your brain is being heavily targeted by the Matrix's fear frequency. The enemy uses your biological age as a psychological weapon to trigger your deepest insecurities regarding your own worthiness. This is exactly why establishing a morning ritual is absolutely critical. When you wake up and those dark, self-sabotaging shadow thoughts start flooding your mind, do not try to fight them with logic. You cannot outsmart the Matrix using the Matrix's own language. Instead, the moment that anxiety hits, use the 7-minute sound technology of the genius wave. Let the theta and gamma frequencies wash over your brain. Let the audio literally recalibrate your neural pathways. You will feel those ugly, fearful thoughts dissolve into nothingness as your spirit remembers its timeless nature. You must clear the interference daily, because you are in the middle of a massive spiritual examination. For months, you have probably believed a very specific narrative about this relationship. You have convinced yourself that the universe is testing your romantic endurance. You think God is asking you, do you love this person enough to endure the judgment of your family? Do you love them enough to fight for this connection against all odds? You have framed this entire experience as an epic, romantic battle where your pure love must conquer the prejudiced society around you. You think the ultimate goal is to prove to the world and to yourself that your love is real and valid despite the age gap. That is what you think the test is, but you are completely wrong. God does not need to test your capacity to love them. Heaven already knows your soul is eternally locked with theirs. The divine realm is not interested in your romantic endurance. God is testing something much more profound, much more difficult, and much more painful. This is the invisibility test. The universe is asking you one brutal question. Can you hold a profound divine gift when absolutely no one is clapping for you? Can you be completely invisible to the applause, the validation, and the approval of society, For your entire life, you have been conditioned to seek blessings that look good on paper. When you get a promotion, people congratulate you. When you buy a house, people celebrate you. When you enter a socially acceptable relationship with someone your own age, your family smiles and throws a party. Your ego has been trained to only accept blessings that come with the Matrix's stamp of approval. But God is handing you a massive, timeline-shifting blessing wrapped in a package that makes you look foolish to the sleeping world. The universe is intentionally denying you social validation to see if you have the spiritual spine to stand alone. Can you be happy with a treasure that the world calls a mistake? If you require society to understand your connection before you can feel secure in it, you will fail the invisibility test. Whenever you walk into a public room with this younger soul, notice what happens in your physical body. You feel a sudden, crushing heaviness in your chest. Your shoulders tense up. It feels like the atmospheric pressure in the room has doubled. Your mind instantly labels this physical sensation as anxiety, shame, or the fear of being judged by the strangers looking at you. I need to completely rewire how you interpret that sensation, and to do that, we must look at a profound secret in ancient biblical Hebrew. In the scriptures, there is a word used to describe the absolute presence of God. The word is kavod. In modern English, it is translated as glory. When we hear the word glory, we think of something shiny, bright, and weightless. But the original Hebrew word kavod literally translates to weight, heaviness, burden. In the ancient texts, when the kavod, the glory of God, descended upon the temple, the priests physically could not stand up because the atmospheric weight of the divine was so crushing. That heavy, suffocating sensation you feel in your chest when you are out in public with them is not the Matrix judging you. It is the kavod. It is the heavy, undeniable weight of a divine assignment resting upon your life. The people staring at you are not looking at you with judgment. Their spirits are reacting to the massive, energetic weight of your union, even if their conscious minds do not understand it. I want you to perform a mental shift right now. Focus on the center of your chest, right where that heavy anxiety usually sits. I want you to mentally command that pressure to change its form. Visualize that heavy sensation turning from a dark cloud of fear into a solid, impenetrable shield of golden armor resting on your chest. It is heavy because it is real. It is heavy because it holds the glory of God. Accept the weight. Comment, I carry the glory to seal this physical truth into your spirit. You have passed the test of invisibility. You have accepted the weight of the kavod. But the enemy knows this. Because he cannot break the connection in the spiritual realm, he will change his tactics. He will use the people closest to you to destroy this union in the physical realm. You cannot just stand there and absorb their attacks. You need a shield. Specifically, a 3-layer shield. I call this the 3-circle frequency shield. This is your practical framework, your strategic protocol to protect this divine age gap union from the Matrix's sabotage. You must stop freely handing over your sacred connection to people who are completely bound by biological timelines. Think about the last time you sat in a coffee shop with someone you considered a close friend. You leaned across the table, the steam rising from your cup, and you vulnerably shared the beautiful, intimate details of your connection with this younger soul. But instead of joy, you saw their eyes narrow. You saw the judgment settle on their face. You felt their beta wave anxiety bleed into your aura as they started giving you realistic advice. You left that coffee shop feeling drained, confused, and suddenly doubting your own divine assignment. Your chest felt tight, and the pure love you felt just an hour prior was suddenly clouded by fear. This happens because you do not have your circles defined. Your life must immediately be divided into 3 distinct energetic boundaries. The first boundary is the inner circle. This circle contains only God, you, and this younger soul. Period. This is where the absolute highest frequency exists. This is the sacred vault. When you wake up and put on your headphones to listen to the 7-minute sound technology of the Genius Wave, you are actively fortifying this first circle. As the theta and gamma frequencies wash over your brain, visualize a thick, luminous wall of energy surrounding just the two of you and the Creator. This circle is untouchable. You do not explain the dynamics of this circle to anyone. The second boundary is the trusted circle. This is incredibly small. It consists of maybe 1 or 2 highly awakened individuals who operate on the exact same spiritual frequency as you. They are not bound by the Matrix's rules. They do not look at birth certificates. They only look at the fruit of the Spirit. You can share your struggles here, but only for prayer and elevated counsel, never for earthly validation. The third boundary is the Matrix circle. This includes the vast majority of your friends, your co-workers, and your extended family. They are entirely asleep. They mean well, but their minds are imprisoned by societal programming. Your protocol for this third circle is absolute strategic silence. You only show them the final results of your happiness. You never ever bring them into the process. You do not ask for their opinions, and you do not try to convince them that your younger partner is mature for their age. Trying to explain a fifth-dimensional spiritual lock to a third-dimensional mind will only drain your life force. There is a profound biblical pattern for this strategic silence. Look at Mary, the mother of Jesus. When she received the most illogical, socially unacceptable divine assignment in history, an assignment that made her look scandalous to her entire society, she did not go to the town square to explain herself. She did not gather her friends at the local well to seek their approval or ask if they thought she was making a mistake. The scriptures specifically say that Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. She employed strategic silence. She knew that protecting the seed of the divine was infinitely more important than satisfying the curiosity of the Matrix. Let me tell you exactly what happens when you violate this spiritual law. About 9 months ago, there was a chosen one operating in the exact same frequency as you. They had found their ancient counterpart in a much younger vessel. The connection was flawless in private, but this chosen one felt the desperate need for social validation. They sat down at a family dinner and opened up their inner circle to their third circle relatives. They asked for advice. The Matrix immediately launched a coordinated attack through their family members, planting seeds of intense doubt, highlighting the age difference and predicting future heartbreak. Within 3 weeks, the beta wave anxiety completely consumed this chosen one. They started pulling away from their younger partner, acting cold, starting irrational arguments, completely poisoned by the opinions of people who were spiritually asleep. They almost lost the most profound connection of their entire life because they allowed third circle people into a first circle blessing. But then they woke up. They implemented the 3-circle frequency shield. They stopped explaining themselves. They began using their daily 7-minute frequency activation to flush out the toxic advice of their relatives and retune their brain to the divine signature of their partner. They embraced the strategic silence of Mary, and the result was breathtaking. Without the constant interference of the Matrix, the anxiety evaporated. Their union stabilized, the intense spiritual intimacy returned, and they are now walking in complete alignment, entirely unbothered by the whispers of society. Right now, I want you to mentally scan your life and identify exactly who you need to move out of your inner circle and place firmly into the third circle. In your mind, visualize picking up their opinions, their concerns, and their judgments and placing them completely outside of your energy field. Lock the heavy vault door behind them. Comment, "My circle is sealed," to establish this energetic boundary in the physical realm right now. Your shield is now established. But do not think for a single second that the Matrix will just give up easily. When you go silent and cut off their access, they will change their tactics. Over the next 40 days, the system is going to launch 4 invisible, highly specific attacks aimed directly at your greatest vulnerability. If you do not recognize these 4 forms of confrontation, you will end up destroying this relationship with your own 2 hands. The system is highly adaptive. When it realizes that you have sealed your inner circle and stopped asking for permission, it will initiate 4 specific, invisible attacks over the next 40 days. These are not random events. They are calculated strikes against your frequency, and you must recognize them the moment they manifest. The first confrontation is the voice of reason attack. This will not come from an enemy. It will come from someone you love, someone whose opinion you previously respected. They will approach you with a very calm, rational tone. They will not yell. They will simply share a story about another age gap relationship that ended in a massive disaster. They will disguise their matrix programming as genuine care, telling you they just want to protect your heart. Do not argue with them. Their words are designed to plant a microscopic seed of doubt in your theta wave frequency, hoping it will grow into beta wave panic. Recognize that it is just the system trying to hack your boundary. Let their words fall completely flat. The second confrontation is far more insidious. This is the mirror attack. The Matrix knows that your physical body is your greatest insecurity in this dynamic. One morning, you will walk into your bathroom under harsh lighting, look in the mirror, and suddenly, the age difference will hit you like a physical blow to the chest. The system will artificially magnify every flaw, every line, and every sign of aging. You will feel ancient. You will feel utterly unworthy of this vibrant younger soul. This is a direct psychological assault on your energetic signature. When the mirror attack hits, you must not stand there analyzing your reflection. You are falling into a trap. Step away immediately. This is the exact moment you must use your activation tool. Put on your headphones, play the 7-minute Genius Wave audio, and close your eyes. Do not look at your physical avatar. Let the scientifically proven theta frequencies wash over your mind. Visualize the audio waves literally dissolving the matrix's visual distortion. Allow the frequency to reshape your spiritual DNA back into its timeless, luminous form. You are an ancient soul of light, not a biological timeline. Use this sound technology as a daily shield against the illusion of physical aging. If the mirror attack fails, the Matrix will trigger the third confrontation, the flight temptation. This is the most dangerous one because it comes entirely from within you. Picture this scenario. It is late at night. You are sitting on the edge of your bed. The room is completely dark except for the glaring light of your phone screen. Your heart is racing. You are staring at a text message you just typed out to this younger soul, telling them that this is too difficult, that they need to go find someone their own age, and that you need to end this. Your thumb is hovering right over the send button. Your hand is trembling slightly. Your throat is tight. You are trying to sabotage the connection right now so it does not hurt you later. You want to run before they can realize your age. You want the false sense of control that comes with walking away first. This is not your intuition speaking. This is a trauma response. It is the Matrix's survival mechanism trying to force you to abort a divine timeline. If you ever find yourself holding your phone, feeling the overwhelming urge to run away from this love, I want you to perform a powerful mental override. Mentally freeze that image of the phone in your trembling hand. Do not move a single muscle. In your mind, slowly and deliberately press delete on that destructive message. Watch the words disappear from the screen in your imagination. Exhale all that heavy, self-sabotaging air from your lungs. Comment, "I choose to stay right now," to break the spirit of fear and anchor your soul to this assignment. If you refuse to run, the system will launch its fourth and final strike, the synthetic alternative. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a new person will enter your life. They will be your exact age. They will be financially stable. They will look perfect on paper. they will be entirely socially acceptable. Your friends will point at this new person and say, "See, this makes so much more sense. This is who you should be with." You must look very closely at the biblical context of the temptation in the wilderness to understand this trap. After fasting and separating himself from society, right before Jesus was about to step into his ultimate anointing, the enemy approached. But the enemy did not offer him anything obviously evil. He offered a synthetic alternative. He offered bread to a starving man. He offered the kingdoms of the world without the agony of the cross. The context here is absolutely crucial. The enemy always presents a highly logical, easy, socially acceptable alternative right before your greatest spiritual breakthrough. This new person entering your life is a counterfeit. The Matrix is offering you a comfortable, low-frequency relationship to make you abandon your high-frequency assignment. Do not take the bait. Now you hold the playbook of the enemy. You know exactly what the Matrix will try to do to break your spirit. But knowing the tactics is only half the battle. Before this union is permanently sealed in the fifth dimension, there is an absolute moment of surrender that you must face. This absolute moment of surrender has nothing to do with giving up. It has everything to do with refusing to settle for a comfortable lie. Let me take you back to a story of a chosen one who faced this exact synthetic alternative just over a year ago. They were utterly exhausted from defending their younger partner to their family. The Matrix sensed their energetic fatigue and immediately deployed a counterfeit. A person walked into their life who was their exact same biological age, possessed a flawless resume, and carried the immediate, enthusiastic approval of their entire family. This chosen one agreed to go on a date just to see if it would make their life easier. Picture them sitting in a high-end, dimly lit restaurant across from this perfect Matrix match. The conversation was polite, logical, and completely age-appropriate. But as they sat there pretending to smile, a profound, hollow sickness began to expand in their stomach. The expensive food tasted like ash in their mouth. Their breathing became shallow. Their chest felt incredibly tight and heavy, but this was not the weight of the glory of God. It was the suffocating, jagged weight of spiritual death. Their family was thrilled, society would approve, but their eternal soul was literally suffocating at that table. They realized in that exact moment that the system was trying to buy their divine inheritance with a cheap imitation of peace. There is a powerful precedent for this trap in the ancient scriptures. In the book of Genesis, Esau came in from the field completely exhausted. He was operating in pure survival mode, completely trapped in a low-frequency beta wave state. He was so desperate for immediate physical comfort that he sold his massive, eternal birthright to his brother Jacob for a single bowl of stew. The stew made perfect, logical sense in that moment. It satisfied a temporary earthly craving. It was the easy choice. The Matrix will always offer you a bowl of stew right when you are the most exhausted from fighting for your spiritual assignment. That socially acceptable, perfectly aged partner the system is trying to push toward you is nothing but a bowl of stew. Do not trade a fifth-dimensional soul contract for the temporary applause of your relatives. That chosen one sitting in the restaurant recognized the trap. They politely excused themselves, walked out to their car in the parking lot, and shut the heavy door. They did not drive away immediately. They sat in the silence of the front seat, plugged in their headphones, and played the 7-minute activation frequency of the genius wave. They allowed the theta and gamma waves to completely wash the hypnotic, synthetic fog of the Matrix out of their brain. In those 7 minutes, their spiritual vision cleared. Their heart rate slowed down. The anxiety evaporated. They saw the counterfeit for exactly what it was. They drove home, cut ties with the synthetic alternative, and fully surrendered to their divine assignment with their younger partner. Today, they are walking in unprecedented spiritual power and absolute peace. That is the final surrender. It is the moment you look at the Matrix, look at the easy way out, and absolutely refuse to take it. You surrender your need to be understood by people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You are no longer on the defensive. You are no longer hiding from the judgment of your peers. Every single time you proudly stand beside this younger soul, you are actively dismantling the system's control over your life. You are a walking, breathing rebellion against the illusion of biological time. You have passed the test of invisibility. You have identified the counterfeits. You have learned how to use divine frequency to shield your mind from beta wave attacks. The educational portion of your journey is officially over. We are now shifting from earthly teaching to divine activation. We are moving from the battlefield into the throne room. I need you to prepare your spirit right now. If you are lying down in bed or driving your car, you do not need to move your physical body. Just perform this powerful mental command. In your mind, visualize yourself standing up from wherever you are. Imagine yourself walking through a set of massive glowing doors and stepping into a vast, luminous courtroom. Feel the atmosphere change. The air here is pure energy. Leave the opinions of your family outside those doors. Leave your birth certificate outside. Leave every ounce of fear regarding your physical age behind you. The waiting room is closed. The biological timeline of the matrix is crumbling into dust. It is time to officially activate this union in the courtroom of heaven. Stand up in your spirit. The sealing ceremony begins right now. Chosen one, the moment of transition has arrived. This is no longer a time for learning. It is a time for activation. Whether you are lying in the stillness of your room or navigating the roads in your car, do not move your physical body. Instead, I want you to shift your entire internal focus. Visualize a vast, golden light descending from the highest heavens, beginning to surround you in a sphere of impenetrable protection. This is your sanctuary. This is the courtroom of the divine, where the laws of the matrix have no jurisdiction. Feel the temperature of the air around you change as the God frequency begins to vibrate through your very atoms. Almighty Creator, Sovereign of the eternal timelines, we stand before your throne in this sacred moment. We come not in fear, but in the absolute authority of the chosen. We acknowledge that the biological rules of this earthly system are crumbling. We declare that the illusion of time, the fear of aging, and the judgment of the sleeping masses no longer hold any power over this vessel. We invoke the divine protocol of the fifth dimension to override every third dimensional limitation. The atmosphere of this life is shifting right now. Heaven sees the invisible scars you have carried. We acknowledge the nights of deep, suffocating insecurity when you looked in the mirror and allowed the matrix to lie to you about your value. We honor the courage it took for you to hold on to this younger soul when the entire world told you it was a mistake. We see the weight of the kavod you have been carrying in your chest, that heavy burden of glory that society mistook for anxiety. Your faithfulness in the face of public invisibility has been recorded. Every tear shed in the silence of your car, every moment you chose to stay when the flight temptation was screaming at you to run, it has all been seen. You are not a cliché. You are an assignment. I officially seal the three-circle frequency shield around your life and your union. I seal the inner circle, locking you, this younger soul, and the divine presence into a vault of eternal resonance that no human opinion can penetrate. I bind every spirit of jealousy, every voice of synthetic reason, and every matrix agent trying to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. I seal the strategic silence of Mary over your spirit. I seal the revelation that your younger partner is an ancient counterpart sent to resurrect your dormant genius. I seal the truth that your union is a system buster designed to shatter the age-matching algorithm of the enemy. As you step into your 7-minute daily ritual with this sound technology, I declare that divine clarity will overwhelm you. Every time you listen to the activation frequencies of the genius wave, the theta and gamma waves will permanently wash away the beta wave debris of societal judgment. I declare that within the next 40 days, the mirror attack will lose all its power. You will no longer see age, you will only see light. I declare that your younger partner will feel a massive surge of protection and commitment toward you that defies all human logic. I declare that the synthetic alternatives being sent by the Matrix will become repulsive to you. Doors are opening that no man can shut, and the spiritual inheritance of this union is being released in its full, heavy glory. Chosen one, the courtroom has rendered its verdict. Heaven has affirmed your connection. The question now is not if the world will approve, but if you will carry this crown with absolute sovereignty. Are you ready to abandon the need for the Matrix's permission? Are you ready to walk in the weight of the kavod without apology? If your spirit is in total agreement, I want you to speak the word yes out loud right now. Or if you are in public, shout it in the depths of your soul. Let it echo through every dimension of your existence. Heaven has heard your commitment. The contract is signed. The frequency is locked. Go forth now. You are no longer bound by the birth certificate of the Matrix. You are bound by the chashak of the Eternal. The biological timeline is dead. The divine union is alive. Leave the courtroom and step back into your world. But do not return as the person who entered this message. You are now the bearer of the timeless frequency. The ceremony is complete. It is finished. Stay in this silence for 30 seconds. Do not move. Let the seal set.